The Speaker for the Northern Territory's Legislative Assembly has lambasted the Federal Minister for Social Services over his comments that de facto couples have a greater chance of splitting up than married couples. Kezia Purik took her views to social media and reiterated the comments on Darwin's local radio this morning. Reporter Catherine Gregory has more. Catherine, the comments that Kezia Purik made on both Facebook and radio were colourful to say the least. Top-end forthright, I would probably venture.
That's a good way of describing it, indeed. Yes, she made her first spray on Facebook last night where she called Mr Andrews a punsy, pasty-faced man from an area that nobody cares about. She went on to say a little bit more on Facebook about him, but obviously she reiterated these comments this morning on ABC Local Radio. Now, as you mentioned, this is all in response to Mr Andrews recently saying that de facto couples have more of a chance of breaking up than married ones as part of an ongoing argument to encourage Australians to marry. And Kezia also said on Facebook last night that if Mr Andrews comes to Darwin's rural area, which is her electorate, then he could be faced with this green rubber ring. Now, this is actually in reference to a way of castrating male animals. So quite colourful language there, and she did reiterate this stuff on ABC Local Radio this morning. She was questioned, though, about her comments, given that some data recently, which has obviously been shown on the ABC Fact Unit page, shows that actually de facto couples are about 6 times more likely to break up than married ones. Her response to that was simply the facts don't matter necessarily in this case, but that Mr Andrews is simply trying to spread his fundamental Christian values onto everybody, and that's not fair. And she says half her electorate are actually de facto couples and they're happy and normal and they contribute to their families and society.
It's probably worth saying here, Catherine, that there's been a bit of history between Mr Andrews, or at least some of his views and her views on euthanasia. But what's the reaction been to her latest comments so far?
So far, the reaction's been interesting. So on Facebook, she's received a lot of support. People have said, good on you, Kezia, I support you in this. Some people have said, you know, if Mr Andrews does come to the Territory, we'll both pretend to use this green rubber ring on him, which is quite interesting. On local radio this morning, a caller called up and offered his support as well and gave a little bit more of an explanation about how this green rubber ring works. And in terms of other sort of people in the Territory, we haven't heard from Territory politicians as yet. I think they prefer to stay out of it. I did speak to a federal member for the Territory Parliament earlier, and she said, again, she'd like to stay out of it. But as you mentioned, this is nothing new. Kezia has obviously criticised Mr Andrews before in regards to euthanasia.
All right, Catherine Gregory in Darwin, thank you very much.